My name is Vincent. I'm 38 years old, and I work as a project manager for a construction company in Denver, Colorado. Last New Year's Eve, I discovered something that changed my relationship with my family forever. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't loud. It was quiet, calculated, and it happened while champagne glasses were being raised at midnight. I need to take you back a bit. My younger sister Diane is 32. Growing up, she was the creative one, the free spirit. I was the practical one who paid bills on time and saved for emergencies. Our parents, Frank and Carol, always excused her choices. Diane needs time to find herself, they'd say. Meanwhile, I was working 2 jobs to put myself through college. 5 years ago, Diane started a boutique photography business. Beautiful idea, poor execution. Within 8 months, she was drowning in debt. Credit cards maxed out, equipment purchased but never paid for, studio rent 3 months behind. She called me crying one night. Vincent, I'm going to lose everything. I helped her. I co-signed a business loan for $22,000. She promised to pay me back within 2 years. That was 5 years ago. I never saw a single payment. Every time I brought it up, she'd say, I'm still building the business. Be patient. Our parents would add, family doesn't keep score, Vincent. But I kept quiet records. $22,000 in loan payments I made when she defaulted. $3,500 I lent her for a new camera. $1,800 for her car insurance when she couldn't afford it. $950 for emergency dental work. Total over 5 years, $28,250. Not once did she say thank you. Not once did she acknowledge the sacrifice. 2 years ago, I met Rachel. She's a teacher, warm, grounded. Exactly what I needed. We got engaged last spring. Small ceremony planned, nothing fancy, but meaningful. My parents seemed happy. Diane seemed happy. Everything felt right. Then came December. Rachel and I decided to host New Year's Eve at our apartment. My parents, Diane, and a few close friends. I wanted it to be special, a fresh start for the new year. I spent the afternoon cooking. Rachel decorated with silver balloons and string lights. It looked beautiful. Diane arrived late, carrying 2 bottles of cheap wine. She hugged me briefly, then spent most of the evening on her phone. My parents arrived with a fruit platter. Normal. Everything seemed normal. As midnight approached, we gathered in the living room. Rachel handed out champagne glasses. The countdown began on TV. 10, 9, 8. Everyone was smiling, excited. 7, 6, 5. I had my arm around Rachel. For 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Glasses clinked. Hugs all around. Then my father cleared his throat. Before we celebrate too much, we need to discuss something important. My stomach dropped. The room went quiet. My mother looked uncomfortable. Diane wouldn't meet my eyes. Rachel squeezed my hand. My father continued, Diane needs help. Her business is struggling again, and she's about to lose her apartment. We've decided as a family that you should help her one more time. I blinked. We've decided? I wasn't part of any decision. My mother spoke up, her voice gentle but firm. Vincent, she's your sister. She needs $15,000 to get back on her feet. You have a good job, you can afford it. I looked at Diane. She was staring at the floor, arms crossed. Not apologetic. Not embarrassed. Just waiting. I've already given her over $28,000. I said quietly. She's never paid back a single dollar. My father waved his hand dismissively. That's in the past. This is about her future. Rachel spoke up. With all due respect, Vincent and I are planning a wedding. We're saving for a down payment on a house. We can't just. My mother interrupted. Those are wants, dear. Diane's situation is a need. That word, need. As if wanting a stable home for your future family was selfish. As if 5 years of being a safety net meant nothing. I said, no. The room went silent. My father's face darkened. Excuse me? I said no. I'm not giving Diane any more money. Diane finally looked up, tears in her eyes. So you're just going to let me become homeless? On New Year's? Really nice, Vincent. My mother gasped. Vincent, how can you be so cold? I felt Rachel's hand tighten around mine. I took a deep breath. I've helped Diane for 5 years. I've never asked for repayment. I've never complained. But I'm done being the only one expected to sacrifice. My father stood up. If you don't help your sister, you're not the man I raised. Then maybe you raised the wrong expectations, I replied. They left. All 3 of them. Walked out at 12:17 a.m. on New Year's Day. My mother crying, my father furious. Diane playing the victim perfectly. The door slammed. Rachel and I stood in our decorated apartment surrounded by half-empty champagne glasses and silence. Rachel looked at me, her eyes sad but understanding. Are you okay? I wasn't. But I nodded anyway. The next morning, I did something I should have done years ago. I pulled out every document related to Diane's debt. Bank statements showing loan payments. Text messages where she promised repayment. Receipts for every emergency I'd covered. I organized everything into a folder. Then I called my Aunt Linda, my mother's sister. Linda had always been the straight shooter in the family. I told her everything. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she was quiet for a moment. Vincent, she said, your parents took out a second mortgage on their house last year. Did you know that? My blood went cold. What? They borrowed $40,000. I thought it was for repairs. But now I'm wondering if they gave it to Diane. I hung up and immediately started searching public records. Linda was right. Second mortgage, $40,000 taken out in March. The same month, Diane bought a new car and upgraded her studio equipment. They'd mortgaged their future for Diane's failed business. And now they wanted me to do the same. That night, my father called. His voice was different, softer. Vincent, we need to talk. Can we meet for coffee? We met the next day at a diner near their house. My mother was there too. They looked tired. My father ordered coffee but didn't drink it. We may have been hasty, he began. New Year's emotions were high. I waited. My mother added, we just want what's best for both our children. I pulled out my folder, laid it on the table. This is what I've given Diane over 5 years. $28,250. Not $1 repaid. Not one thank you. They stared at the documents. My father's jaw tightened. My mother touched the papers like they might burn her. And I know about the second mortgage, I continued. The $40,000 you gave her last year. My mother's face went pale. My father looked away. You've sacrificed your retirement, your financial security, for Diane's dreams, I said quietly. And you wanted me to do the same. To sacrifice my future with Rachel, our home, our stability, because Diane can't manage money. My father finally spoke. She's family. So am I replied. But you've never treated us the same. Diane gets endless chances. I get endless expectations. My mother started crying. Soft, quiet tears. We didn't mean for it to be this way. But it is this way, I said. And I'm done. I left cash for the coffee and walked out. 3 weeks later, Diane called. Her voice was small. Can we talk? We met at a park. She looked different. Less put together. More real. I've been thinking, she said. About everything. About how much you've helped me. I never said thank you. Not really. I waited. I lost the studio, she continued. I couldn't make rent. I'm moving back with Mom and Dad for a while. And I know that's humiliating. But it's also a wake-up call. What changed? I asked. She looked at me. You did. You said no. Nobody's ever said no to me before. And it made me realize how much I've been taking. From you, from them, from everyone. I didn't respond. I wanted to believe her, but I'd heard promises before. I'm not asking for anything, she said quickly. I just wanted you to know that I'm sorry. Really sorry. And I'm going to figure this out without your money. We sat in silence for a while. Then she stood up. Tell Rachel I'm sorry for ruining your New Year's. She walked away before I could respond. 6 months have passed since that New Year's Eve. My parents and I speak occasionally. cordial but distant. They're struggling with mortgage payments but too proud to admit they need help. I offered once to connect them with a financial advisor. My father refused. Diane is working at a retail store. She moved out of my parents' house into a small apartment with a roommate. She posts less on social media. No more glamorous photo shoots or inspirational quotes about following your dreams. Just quiet, ordinary life. Rachel and I got married in June. Small ceremony, just close friends. My parents came. Diane sent a card with $50 inside and a note. Toward your future. I know it's not much, but it's a start. That $50 meant more than the $28,250 ever did. Not because of the amount, but because it was the first time she gave instead of took. We bought a house last month. 3 bedrooms, small backyard, nothing fancy, but it's ours. When we moved in, I found myself thinking about that New Year's Eve. The champagne glasses, the countdown, the moment everything changed. People ask if I regret saying no. The answer is no. Because that night, I stopped being the person everyone took from and became the person who knew his worth. My family might never understand that, but Rachel does, and that's enough. Last week, Diane texted me a photo. She'd gotten a job at a photography studio, not as the owner, but as an assistant. Learning from the ground up. The message said, "Small steps, but they're mine." I smiled and replied, "Proud of you," and I meant it. Sometimes the best gift you can give someone isn't money. It's the space to fail, learn, and grow on their own. Sometimes love means saying no. And sometimes the new year doesn't start on January 1st. It starts the moment you choose yourself. If you've ever been the family ATM, the one everyone turns to but nobody thanks, drop a comment. Let me know I'm not alone. And if this story resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. We share real stories about real families here. Because sometimes the hardest battles aren't with strangers. They're with the people we love most. Thanks for listening. See you in the next story.